Good evening, everyone. My picture is so small that I can't tell who's hosting me tonight. I can't find you.
I I heard Howie's Jeff's hosting and Howie's backing me up.
Great, welcome. Thank you for co-hosting.
Might be a little bumpy. I apologize in advance.
No worries. Anyway, happy to see all of you and happy to have a chance to stop, stop all of the toppling forward. Now something has paused. Picture is so small that I can't tell who's hosting me tonight. Okay, I've just got I'm hearing a replay of the
I heard
recording.
Howie's Jeff's hosting and Howie's backing me up.
Jeff, you need to mute the YouTube.
Might be a little bumpy. I apologize. Okay.
No worries.
You're hearing the replay.
See all of you. And happy to have a chance to wow, that made me listen to my own voices. Not so much fun. Anyway, Jeff, thank you for co-hosting.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all grist for the mill. Thrilled to be with you and mostly to be able to practice together. As the phrase that was going through my mind this afternoon was to have the dust settle. As when the dust settles, there's a natural peace and ease that reveals itself, that is the natural peace and ease of our nature that gets lost sometimes in the busyness of our lives and the obsessions of our mind. So this is a chance to both notice what our mind is doing and put it to good use by reminding us again and again of our love of being right exactly where we are. Realizing that waking up to where we are here is it's the mountaintop. There's no better tomorrow than that moment of being awake. And for this realization to be more than just an idea, even though it may sound good to stop and keep quiet, look within, it is really an immediate and direct experience that has to be felt. There, in this world, are countless descriptions of freedom, many menus to study the taste of the food and what this is and that is, but until you actually taste it, till you actually taste the Dharma, the living Dharma, it's all ideas. So one of the ways that we step out of the stream of conceptual thinking, you could say, and second-hand version of reality is we find our body, and our first act of moving beyond concepts is to close our eyes and just feel what's here and let the idea, the concept of body melt away and just feel that experience of sensations, vibrations, pulsing, whatever it is that you experience, minus the words. My words will point to that direct reality, so there will be the use of words, but we want to go beyond the words. And so we feel the touch of our hands, but we feel them so intimately that the idea or concept of hands falls away, and there's just that feeling of contact, of touch, minus the words. And we feel our tush on the cush, our rear end being supported by the earth. This is words to point. But when we feel that experience, the concept of rear end and cushion or earth fall away, and there's just that feeling of sensation minus the words. And already just being in touch with the living experience, something in us lets go. Something in us feels a sense of unification or mingling with life in and around us. And all the ideas and separations melt away, and there's just knowing and sensation. No dividing line between the noticing and the sensations. Just an immaculate silence, emptiness, fullness, minus the words. And in the middle of this experience, for the purpose of training, we draw attention to the little movements and sensations that emerge that we conceptually call breath. But we feel those sensations so intimately that the idea of breath gives way to these little waves of sensation, minus the words. We make these little waves of sensation the home base or the anchor for our attention. Feeling that touch that calls us here, minus the word. Now, minus the word. Breath by breath. Without even trying to be calm, we are guided to a calm abiding. Without trying to be still, we are guided to an innate stillness, minus the word. Open to and welcoming each wave, what we call each breath. Feeling a fullness, minus the word, as the breath comes in. Feeling an emptying, a letting go as the breath goes out, minus the word. Just connecting with life, right where it connects with us. Just this moment, just this breath, just this body, just this experience, minus the words. Just the touch, just the feeling, just the knowing, minus the words. And if we realize we've been lost in thought and we've lost touch with this welcoming attention, that moment of realization is the moment of returning to attention. And so we celebrate waking up to where we are. And resume by just feeling the touch of immediate and direct experience of this moment, this breath, minus the words. Every experience welcomed, sensed, loved. It's the love of truth, of the way it is. Just this Again and again, allowing the touch sensations to call you here to immediate and direct experience of body, breath, moods if they're felt, sounds if they're heard, thoughts if they are arising, just knowing without adding any complicating concepts or stories, just things as they are. No agenda other than to notice. No need to strain, no need to struggle, just being aware, supported by the anchor of the sensations, minus the words. Sinking into that felt experience and sticking to it, spreading out all around it, not missing any part of the body's experience of breathing in or breathing out or whatever's predominant. Feeling the touch intimately. Just this moment. When your mind steps out of concepts and you're just aware, there's also no time. We step out of time. There's no destination without thoughts. There's no place you're going, no place you've been. There's just awareness anchored in this field of sensations. Again and again, reconnecting. This timeless reality of being aware. No past, no future, no present even. That's another idea. There's just being aware, minus the word. Feeling the touch, the body and breath. Great pleasure to sit with you. I changed it up a little bit tonight and went right into the practice and offering some instructions to lead into it, and put off our weekly greeting, which I'd love to, for all of us to have the pleasure of that right now. So important in a world of separation, isolation, disembodiment, to be able to feel each other. So as always, even though the fruit of your practices or the experience of your practice may be a little fresh, and you may want to go right into maybe talking about your practice, I'd love for as many people who are willing to have their cameras on, and for you at your leisure to unmute and say good evening, say where you're calling in from, so we can have that feeling of being together in Sangha, in community. So welcome, everyone.
Jim from Southwest Washington. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Jim, welcome.
Mary from Santa Barbara, having a
Hey.
heat wave. I'm sitting in the car at the beach.
Glad you're with us in any case. Stay cool.
Thank you.
Nancy
Glad to be-
Langley from Petaluma, and I have on my air conditioner.
Glad you're with us, Nancy.
Exactly.
Linda Wheeler from Santa Rosa, California. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Glad you're here.
Kathy from San Francisco. Nice cool day.
Lucky you, Kathy.
Katie from San Francisco.
Hey, Katie. We've got the cool cucumbers.
Yeah.
Linda in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Back in Michigan. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Glad you're able to go back.
Hi from Maryland.
It sounded like Laura.
Yep.
Glad-
Hey.
Glad you're with us.
Good to be
Mysterious
here.
Tuesday
dark.
night, Laura.
Keith from Berkeley.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
Keith. Welcome.
Howie from San Francisco.
Welcome, Howie. Glad you're with us. And I see Sabina had her hand up. Glad you're with us, Sabina.
I have my fan on. It's hot in my neighborhood.
Great.
Howard from British Columbia. Hello.
Hello, Howard. I'm up here in BC with you.
Ah,
Frank, San Francisco.
Hey, Frank. Well, it is a different experience seeing all of you in tiny little boxes. But really happy.
Jeff, San Francisco.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks again for
Hi.
co-hosting tonight. You did a great
Lucky
job so
Thanks,
far.
lucky I've got Howie to back me up. Howie Gelman.
Howie G is a reliable teacher.
Yeah.
Noemi.
Hey, Noemi.
Nice.
Hey, Jim. Glad you're with us tonight.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Howie. Sorry I missed the meditation, but I'm glad I'm able to come when I could. And it's a little warm in the mission, though. I don't, maybe closer to the coast, it's not as warm, but it's a little warm here. Right, Naomi? It's a little warm?
Microclimates.
Yes. And muggy.
I'm like sweating.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, glad everybody showed up,
Right.
rain or shine.
Jill from Saskatchewan.
Hey, Jill. Glad you're here. How's the weather in Saskatchewan?
It's warm. It's warm. It's warming up.
Summer in the prairies.
Hoping smoke is going to stay away.
See Maureen on the other side. Glad you're with us, Maureen. Also from Regina. Okay. So let's just feel the blessing of being together and having been able to sit together, and let's just feel any of the the residue of your practice, and just wondering if there was anything, any question that emerged from the practice, any comment, any topic, and remembering, as always, that your comment or question or topic will likely be of some benefit to someone else. So part of the generosity, part of our practice of dana is being willing to just put it out there. If we have something that you want to speak about or would like me to speak about, please feel free. So, is there anything at this point?
Howie, it's Trisha.
Hey, Tricia, glad you're with us.
Thank you. I'm really sitting with a lot of craving, and I'm just feeling how much suffering that brings. And at some point, it just slipped away, and I almost called it back. I'm like, I gotta keep going through it. I gotta keep going through it. And maybe I don't. Maybe I just watch it come, watch it go.
Thank you. Sorry you're experiencing that stress. Is there any more that, do you want to stay away from the content, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just, yeah, like I often hear in our Buddhist sit to just kind of go through the fire of the suffering and and you know, like I said, at some point it kind of dissipated and I was in the moment and I like thought, should I be calling it back to go even deeper through it?
There is a kind of practice of calling things back, of calling things up, and then feeling them, experiencing them, and then being able to recognize that these experiences are just made up of the same stuff of awareness. They're not separate from it. They're just part of the changing display of your mind. And so you can call things up, and if you can see them as empty in that way and just changing conditions, great. And that's a wonderful practice. But with all experience, especially the experiences that are hard to be with, that are really difficult to bear, sometimes described as painful, those experiences one has to find a balance between, let me see how I can put this, knowing when you have enough presence of mind, enough mental strength, enough willingness, enough of the wholesome factors of awakening present to be able to show up with those kinds of experiences and see them through and recognize that they're changing conditions. But those conditions are very fragile, and sometimes it's not possible. So anytime you're experiencing pain, it's very useful to turn your attention to that so that you develop the capacity to be with things that are difficult. But it's not meant to be a torture test. And if you find that you're getting tighter and tighter or more and more reactive, if you're getting weary, if you're starting to have doubt, all those things are signals that maybe you stayed too long.
Okay.
And if you've hit that point where you're noticing that your reactivity is getting stronger, at those moments, it's not wise to stay with it. At those moments, it's not cheating, it's not escaping, it's skillfully moving your attention to something that you can accommodate more easily, something that will kind of ease your heart, gladden your heart, balance your mind, and so that you maintain a sense of well-being independent of whatever craving was in the mind before. So it's not cheating to move away from it.
Great. Thank you.
Pleasure. Anybody else? Sabina, please feel free.
That was actually very helpful. What was it Trisha just asked?
Yes.
And then I found it really helpful that you were giving us instruction and then asking us to remove the words, which is something I'm trying to just think about doing more. Like, for example, when there's like physical pain or an illness, and I want to know why, and I want to know when it's going to end. And then I compound suffering with that. And it's sort of like, to what extent can I sit with the discomfort of the symptoms, even when I don't know what's causing it?
Mhm.
You know, it's sort of that like dance of like, when do you turn off the sort of intellectualizing of like the trying to figure out intellectually, and instead just like see what's being felt?
Well, generally, yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying. Generally, when the figuring out mind is, uh-oh, something happened. Ed, we've got to mute you. Sabina, if you could say something briefly with so I get you back on my screen.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. So where were we? Usually when Ed, I think you have to mute your computer or whatever device you're on.
He did.
Okay. For some reason, Ed is on my screen now. If you could speak up a little bit again, Sabina.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. When we're caught up in the figuring out mind, the issue with it is we become somewhat disembodied and our body kind of goes into a freeze. And so the key isn't to just give up trying to figure out, but to notice that what that experience of trying to figure out is like. How does it feel in the body? Because it usually has an engine of either fear or worry or something. And so including your body helps you settle. And often, whether something's figured out or not, even though we're terrible at figuring things out, but whether something is figured out or not, something in us will calm down a little bit, and also appreciate that you're trying to figure out is a sign that you care about yourself. And so you make that care a little bit more immediate, and not postpone it until things are worked out. So coming back to your body, feel your heart, bring some tender, loving care, and notice. Oh, I'm happy. I'm noticing that my mind is trying to figure things out, because I care about myself.
Thank you.
That's a habit that comes from a really good place, but it doesn't work so well. What seems to work better for relief is loving kindness and just attention to what you did exactly felt your immediate experience. Last call, please.
Hi, Howie. It's Lisa. Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Can you hear me? Hi.
I can. There you are.
Yeah, I'm just relating to a lot with what everyone shared today. I was also sitting with a lot of fear, and sometimes I'm just trying to feel the feelings. But sometimes I become I try, I know I shouldn't do this, but sometimes I feel like I'm using meditation as a way to feel better instead of just feeling whatever is going on, which is unpleasant.
Well, meditation is feeling whatever's going on.
Yes, exactly.
So you can meditate to feel better, but not try to meditate something away.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to
Because
say.
it knows, and that's just, in a way it's attempting meditation, but it's actually practicing aversion.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's another form of craving, like Tricia, it's craving for something to go away.
Yeah.
And so that tends to be a source of tension for all of us. And the beauty of actual meditation is that craving is just something that can be felt, or that desire for something to go away, that aversion. And if you actually feel it, it's more likely to be the cause of you then meeting yourself with more kindness and realize that you're actually adding tension to your experience. But until we actually feel the aversion, then we just think about it a lot.
Right.
So
Right.
we think about ourselves a lot, and we know a lot about ourselves, but we don't know ourselves as well directly. And that's why the actual meditation of feeling things as they are, it cuts through the whole story of whatever's going on, wherever we're going or wherever we've been.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in the
Yeah.
practice tonight, I was saying, when you're aware, there's no destination.
Yeah. It's those types of feelings that you don't want to feel. They're so seductive sometimes. It's even though getting caught up in the story and noticing that and just trying to come back. But yeah. Thanks, Howie.
That's why we practice.
Yeah.
Noemi,
I have a quick,
I can't resist.
I have a quick question.
Please.
And that question is, how do you differentiate between wanting and craving?
Tell me more about where your question's coming from, so that I don't just give a theoretical answer. I mean, I have one for you, but I'd rather target it to where the question's coming from.
Oh, it was theoretical, but I guess something concrete is the need to have something be easier on my body, let's say. Getting that need of relief as opposed to a desire of it being different. I mean, for instance, if you cut your finger, you
Yes.
need to do something about it.
Yes, yeah, the desire for relief is quite natural.
So,
And that's a wholesome desire. It's a sign of love.
I mean, we could get deeper. I mean, sometimes I feel I have a need, and this is a follow-up to when we were talking. I need things to be easier. So maybe it is a want.
I don't think you're alone in wanting things to be easier. That is a universal desire. Everyone wants things to be easier. Everyone wants things to be easier. And no one wants things to be harder. That's just built in. That's what unifies all of us. Whether that wanting things to be easy turns into craving, it turns into a source of tension, turns into a source of suffering, depends on how tenaciously you cling to that desire for comfort.
Yeah.
If you can want things to be easy and then still accommodate things when they're not so easy, then you're able to have some degree of balance and equanimity.
Okay.
If your balance is dependent on things being easy, then good luck.
Okay. Thank you. I
So
mean,
you
that.
are one with the human race. But it is a really deep question about when does that desire, that universal human desire for ease, turn into a source of suffering.
And then of course there are degrees.
There are degrees, yes.
And I get caught up in the anger of people who do seem to have it easy. At the phone. And then on the other end, I'd see people who have it a lot harder than me. So
Yeah. There's a lot of material in what you just said. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's let it rest for a few moments. Let's see if there's a topic and Well, I think that if I were to pick a topic out of the questions tonight, or the comments, the descriptions, I would say that that universal desire for relief. That's what the Dalai Lama says, that what makes us all, what unifies us all is we all desire to be happy. That's what's common to all sentient beings. Ease, relief, comfort. And what binds us all is our desire to be free of suffering. And the primary issue, at least in some ways the heart of the matter, is some confusion, some what the Buddha would call avidya, or ignorance, about where one actually finds relief and where one finds a relief from suffering. And because of that confusion or misunderstanding, otherwise known as avidya or ignorance, beings like us very innocently wander endlessly astray in misplaced faith on either, as Lisa was saying, figuring things out, satisfying a craving, as Tricia was saying, getting the world and the people in the world to be, to all have equality, or have everybody to have an equal amount of ease, like Noemi. That in a way, each of us is entrained totally innocently to outsource our relief to conditions that aren't actually happening right here, that aren't actually the reality that we're experiencing. We outsource to I talk about it every week, to the future, that we associate relief with how things turn out. And because the future, as we know, is just a dream, a complete unknown, a fantasy. It doesn't even exist except thought forms in the present moment. Because it doesn't exist, it's not capable. We don't know what's going to happen. And because we don't know what's going to happen, our mind looking to that imagined future when things get better, or we satisfy our hunger, or get rid of the inequality, whatever it is that we're craving or associating our happiness with. The Buddha called it tanha, craving, or actually called it lust. But usually we associate lust with sexuality or power, but it's any kind of desire that has a certain kind of postponement baked into it, a certain kind of tension that says, I cannot find the relief that I'm looking for until something happens. And it's so innocent about, especially when it's about our physical health. And we have illness and we want to figure out why and how we can get better. But our innocent search for a cure or a solution or the healing often leaves us in a state of increased tension and worry and fear. And then that worry and fear, our body contracts. And when our body contracts, our mind thinks. And it becomes a vicious cycle of postponement. And this is why the heart of the Dharma, you could say, is the way of unraveling that ignorance is to, first and foremost, is to put your attention, as many of you described it, I put your attention on what you're actually experiencing. That Rumi line, the cure for pain is in the pain. The cure for discomfort is in the discomfort. But then, as I was speaking to Tricia about, easing ourselves into the capacity to sit in the middle of our immediate experience and know that moment of attention is the seed of relief, but learning how to ease into that is delicate, and we're not, our capacity and our mental strength isn't so great at first. We bounce right off of something that's unpleasant, like fear. We become afraid of being afraid. Or physical discomfort, we bounce off in aversion, or something that we don't like in the world, we have strong reactions. So it's a dance to learn how to stay, and how to know when we can stay and when we can't, and how to move our attention, what they call in one psychological system, how do we pendulate, how do we resource, how do we find some composure while we're learning to accommodate our present experience and not outsource our well-being to some imagined future that never arrives. The other place that we outsource is to replay and ruminate about past experiences. All of it's happening here, but it's whatever. It has the heart of the matter is, where do we put our attention? Where do we put our attention? That really is, it is everything. It's the beginning, middle, and end of our whole path. Where is your attention? Is it on an imagined future? Is it on the imagined past? Or is it on your immediate experience? Is it in the realm of ideas? Are you just, as Ajahn Buddhadasa, the famous monk, when asked to comment on the world after having worked with thousands of people during a lifetime where he lived to 90, he had 3 words to describe the world. And those 3 words were lost in thought. And lost in thought that's where our attention is. That's what we're practicing. So shifting our attention to real time, it takes practice because we're much more habituated to being lost in thought. All human beings spend at least 50% of the time lost in thought. And meditators only a little bit more, a little bit less. But if one takes those moments that you are here and actually adds to it the intention to anchor your attention in the present moment, in each presently arising experience, what the Buddha called, if you have this, what he called this one fortunate attachment. If you attach yourself to this moment and in a sense unplug, unstick yourself from your imagination in a way. Be able to notice imagining, that's a wonderful and amazing, awesome thing. But to notice it, to relate to it as opposed to being lost in it, that's a kind of freedom. So to be able to notice, to be able to relate to our imagining mind, to be able to relate to our immediate experience, it takes practice. It takes intention. And the beauty of our human minds is that we are trainable. And that's why the Buddha could just wax about whatever you frequently think about, dwell upon, becomes the inclination of the mind. So what you practice is what you get. And if you practice attention, you'll get more attention. And that the meditator, I hate to belabor this point, the person who commits in a way, who has the faith to start and really engage in the practice, then the wisdom to really tune into what's happening in the present moment. This is a balance of, these are called spiritual faculties, faith, that willingness to open yourself to life. And having been turned on by some kind of experience that gave you a sense that the way out is in, that where I am actually right now, we may have gotten a glimpse of a sense of immediacy that gives us the faith to really start to practice. But then the wisdom is to really actually stay here, see what our mind's doing, and stay here long enough. This is where the other 2 spiritual faculties that are really important, energy, where there's a kind of determination to stay, energy, not too much so that you get overamped, not too little that you just kind of lazing through your practice, but a balance between energy and tranquility, energy and concentration. You stay long enough, and the way I always think of it, stay long enough here where you naturally, not from giving up craving, not from making some kind of declaration that I'm not going to follow my craving, but having your present experience being empty enough for a long enough time of your usual obsessions and your ideas and fears and plans and everywhere you've been and everywhere you're going, to be free of that enough that your real-time experience becomes both workable enough, compelling enough, wonderful enough, awesome enough that your mind stops wanting to be somewhere else. Because really, if you look at it, as far as where attention goes, our attention goes where we want it to go, for the most part. We tend to want, I was just talking to somebody today that's inspiring what I'm saying right now. We tend to want to be acknowledged, seen, successful, rich, or whatever it is, much more than we want peace, much more than we want freedom. And you have to stay long enough to know that peace and freedom cannot be found through through accomplishment. They can't be found through success. They can't be found through name, fame, all the wins that we tend to get hyped up about. I was talking to somebody that's in a world where basically your well-being gets outsourced to being seen by this small cadre of people who are all vying for world success. I mean, massive success. And when you hit it big, you get a big rush. And this person I was talking to realized that that big rush has a very small, short shelf life. It fades away quickly and leaves in its wake a desire for the next one. And it's just bound up in identity. And identity cannot give us the relief that we want. So we want to stay long enough to feel that without being anybody in particular, except just the particularity of your own mind, body presence here, that you stay long enough that you don't want to give that up for anything. As Dana Faulds put it, I just happen to have this quote with me tonight. It's her poem called Walk Slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something inside me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget and catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can stop, breathe, be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Or J. Krishnamurti, who said, only when the mind is still, tranquil, not expecting or grasping or resisting a single thing, it is possible then to see what is true. And it is the truth that liberates, not our effort to be free. So I'll leave you with the words of Patrul Rinpoche, who said, don't prolong the past. Don't invite the future. Don't alter your innate wakefulness. Don't fear appearances. Apart from that, there's not a damn thing. he's filled with these quirky little pithy quotes. Don't prolong the past. Don't invite the future. Don't alter your innate wakefulness. Don't fear appearances. Apart from that, there's not a damn thing. So in other words, choose to put your attention here. Or as Punjaji said, you need the past and thoughts to suffer. You don't need anything to be free. The boulders of the past rest on your chest and impede your life and freedom. Freedom waits, but most are engaged with something else. So let's all sit together quietly, and then we'll have a few short announcements and call it a night. Letting go of any kind of outsourcing to the imagined past or future. Just resting our attention in the body and breath, minus the words. Aware, minus the word. And may our practice together be of great benefit to ourselves, to this suffering world. And may all beings be happy and know the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering decreasing. May all beings know the sacred happiness that is sorrowless, here and now, and never stray away from this vital point. May all beings grow in balance, equanimity, able to more easily accommodate the joys and the sorrows with less reactivity. May our practice every day be dedicated to the welfare and benefit of each other, without exception. Just a brief reminder, I mentioned the spiritual faculties. There are 5 of them. There's wisdom and faith. There is energy and concentration. And then there is mindfulness. And mindfulness is what balances. In other words, wherever you put your attention, if you're practicing attention, it balances all of these. Balances faith, balances wisdom, balances energy, balances concentration. So please be mindful. So thanks for listening. And Jeff, are you providing any announcements tonight, or is?
Yes, I will. In your meeting invitation are the instructions for how to practice Dana, which is so important to this Sangha, this group. And then also 2 other announcements. One, the on-site 4-hour session for the mission is still not committed, but it's coming. The announcement will be coming when you can sign up for that.
It's a hybrid half-day retreat on the 22nd of August.
Yeah. So, but the ability to sign up isn't yet there. It should be there shortly.
Thank you.
And then secondly, the Spirit Rock retreat coming up on, what is it, Howie, September?
The 2nd to the 7th of September. I'm pretty sure it's full already.
It has
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it's not at this point, but please sign up anyway. There's sometimes cancellations, but there's also going to be a little cameo from Jack Cornfield at that retreat, and otherwise 5-day retreat, which is it'll be my 36th or 37th annual Labor Day retreat, along with James Barras and others, and it's a wonderful time to practice before the autumn and after the summer, and love to see all of you there. And that's one of the places that you can really nurture this moment-to-moment attention. But don't wait until the retreat. All day, every day. It's very portable. Anyway, thank you, Jeff, and thanks for your generosity in advance. It does allow us to, as one of my colleagues says, the teachings are offered freely. It doesn't mean free. They're freely offered. It means that in order for them to continue, this reciprocal, this shared relationship between giving and receiving, it's how it keeps going. So thank you in advance. Thank you for past. I'm here because you've been generous before, and what will allow us to keep going is if you continue to be generous to me or whoever takes this seat. So thank you, and please feel free to say goodnight, and hope you have sweet dreams.
Good night, everyone. Thanks,
Good night.
Howie.
Good night,
Thank you, Howie.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Howie, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Good
week.
night, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Good practice.
Stay
Thank you,
cool.
Howie.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, know what I mean.
Good night, all.
Stay cool, everyone.